Howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk. The biggest flaw with our retirement system. And I think I'm being nice calling it a system because it's a scam. So I'm going to point out the biggest flaw with our retirement scam system. And first, I'm going to ask some questions. And then I'm going to point out that the actual biggest flaw with our retirement system is that we ask the wrong question. So the first question I'm going to ask you is the biggest flaw with our retirement system the fact that when we're kids and we're in school, we are exposed to teachers who work in an industry that still has a pension? So we're indoctrinated from a young age to think that pensions are a good thing, but they don't exist in every field, and they're starting to exist less and less. One of the problems with the pension system is that the life expectancy for people is becoming so long that the pensions can't fund a perpetual payment. But that's not even the issue with pensions. Some are underfunded, some can be outright stolen from, and some will file bankruptcy. But that's not even the flaw with our retirement system. So I'll shift from pensions to the 401k system, because now the perpetual payment isn't the problem. Is the problem with the 401k system that the three people benefiting the most from your retirement accounts aren't you? First, the government is going to get their taxes. Retirement accounts delay taxes. You're hoping to retire broke, and you're hoping to retire when taxes are lower, because we expect taxes to go lower in the future because no one's met the government. Is the biggest flaw with our retirement system that with the 401k system, you're still going to pay taxes, and the three people benefiting the most from this isn't you? No, that's not the biggest flaw with our retirement system. And I don't just hate on retirement accounts. I do say if I had money in a retirement account, I would still have to work. But they're not the biggest flaw with our system. So now let's go look at the Social Security system. Again, this is something that we can contribute to for decades, 30, 40 years, and then the amount that we can withdraw isn't enough to cover the average rent currently. That's not the biggest flaw. And again, the biggest flaw isn't that the Social Security system is like the piggy bank for the government to pull funds out and use for things that aren't anything to do with our retirement, and that with a shortfall, the Social Security system, by a certain date that everybody moves around, like they're playing vertical pong with the dates, that we can actually not have enough money in there so that we start paying out a percentage of the low amount that you expect to get. That's not the biggest flaw. Here is the biggest flaw. One day I will get to the point right at the beginning of a video.
But not today.
The biggest flaw with our retirement system, our scam system, is that we all ask the wrong question. Anytime we bring up retirement, everyone asks, how old? When it's Social Security, do we say, is it 62 or 67? I have a video on which one I think is the right answer. When we say retirement accounts, you pay a penalty if you don't make it to 59 and a half. When we talk about pensions, most people don't realize that it isn't just how many years you work at a company. It's how many years you work there and your age put together have to equal a certain age. So the question with most of our retirement system comes down to how old, when the right question, the question that you should ask, the mental shift that can change your entire life, is when you start asking the question when it comes to retiring, how much? And it's not an amount. It's not, do I need $1 million or $10 million saved up? That's the wrong way to look at it. It's how much cash flow do I need coming in every month that I don't have to sell my life for 1 hour at a time, that makes it so that I don't have to work. Because if you have the right amount of cash flow when you're 20, you can retire. If you have the right amount of cash flow when you're 52, you can retire like I did. I made it to 40 without ever really thinking about money. And like most people, every time I had any amount of money in a retirement account, it got emptied early so that I could recover from a divorce or try to get rid of some bad debt that I didn't know about until the divorce. But the majority of people that I worked with at the company where we had a retirement account would empty it out every time they had a life event. They were thinking of, I will pay the penalty because I'm not the right age, not thinking, how much do I need to have in my 401k system or in my pension coming in, or from my retirement account, my Roth, my 401k, or my cash flow from my assets. When we shift our thinking to how much instead of how old, the system fixes itself. One of the reasons why the Social Security system was invented in Germany was because there were too many older people working and not enough jobs for the younger people. So they had a lot of social problems. So they came out with a system for older people to be paid if they left the workforce so that we can make room for the younger workers. The more people that reach financial freedom and leave the workforce, the more opportunity there is for the people who do not want to invest, do not want to retire early, don't want to take charge of their finances, and actually still want to sell their life 1 hour at a time. Those job openings are there for them. So help me fix our retirement scam system and stop thinking about when and how old and start thinking about how much. I hope this didn't sound too ranty, and I hope this video at least made you think. Until my next video, thanks for coming to my Dion Talk.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.